Good morning, Massachusetts. It's the Hallie and Isabel Show. Today we will be interviewing multiple characters from the Scarlet Letter and the Crucible. First up is Reverend Arthur Dimmesdale.
Hello, Arthur Dimmesdale.
Hello.
Did you make it here okay this morning?
I did. Thank you.
Yeah. What was the constant reminder of your suffering?
I could not fulfill the life that I wanted to with Hester and Pearl because of my sins.
How has your physical appearance changed? Many people have noticed changes throughout time.
Yeah. Well, I'm in very bad physical health, and I'm very pale and very weak.
Thank you, Arthur Dimmesdale. Next up, we have Pearl, daughter of Hester and Dimmesdale.
Good morning, Pearl. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay, to start off our interview, is it true that you made a connection with the Scarlet Letter in Dimmesdale?
Yeah, it is true. I started noticing the connection when Dimmesdale started putting his hand over his heart in the same place where my mother had her letter.
Ah.
Yeah.
Can you describe for us your relationship with nature as a child?
Well, as a child, I had a very strong relationship with nature and the animals. I connected very well with both of them, and this is probably because of my mom and I's reputation in the town. And because of the reputation, I didn't have a lot of friends to play with.
Okay, thank you, Pearl. Next up, we have John Proctor from the Crucible.
Hello, John.
Hello.
Could you explain your relationship that you had with Abigail?
I had an affair with Abigail, and I want nothing to do with her. Which is why I started the witch trials, because she wants to be with me.
Okay. And one of the questions that we'd like to ask you, another one was, how did your biggest dilemma change over time?
At first, having an affair was my greatest dilemma that I dealt with, but now it's deciding whether or not to confess witchcraft, which I did not do.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Next up in this interview is Hester Prynne.
Hello, Hester.
Hello.
Did you make it here fine?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we are aware that there was a relationship between you and the Scarlet Letter. Would you like to discuss the relationship between the Scarlet Letter and yourself and your identity?
Well, I think that the letter symbolizes my own past and my own decisions, and I'm the one who will determine the meaning of the past and my future events.
Okay. Is it true that you told Pearl the truth when she first asked about the meaning of the Scarlet Letter?
No, that is not true. I told her that I liked the gold on the letter and the way it looked.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Roger Chillingworth.
Good morning, Roger.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay.
The first question we have for you is, why did you choose to torture Dimmesdale and Hester when you could have simply revealed that you are Hester's husband?
Well, I didn't reveal my identity because I was ashamed that my wife had committed adultery, so I just decided to torture them.
Why do you and Dimmesdale end up living together?
We ended up living together because I took on the role of the community's physician, and Dimmesdale was very sick at the time, so I moved in with him to heal him.
That's all we have for you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Elizabeth Proctor.
Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Our first question we have for you is, why did you lie to the court when they asked you if John had an affair?
I denied that John had an affair with Abigail because I'm loyal to my husband.
Also, why did you refuse to influence John's decisions whether to confess or not?
I feel that he must face his own consequence and make his own decisions.
Okay, thank you.
Next up, we have Abigail Williams.
Good morning, Abigail.
Hi.
Our first question to ask you today is, what did you first admit to Paris when he caught you in the forest?
First thing I admitted to my uncle when he called us was that me and Betty danced in the forest.
Was it true that when Betty gave in to about dancing in the forest that your motivation was to drink blood to kill Miss Proctor?
Yes, I will be honest, I did drink blood because I was jealous of Goody Proctor's marriage with Proctor.
This is our comparison between the Scarlet Letter and the Crucible.
Both of these stories take place in the 1700s to the early 1800s in a North American colony of Massachusetts. Also, many people who lived in this colony during this time period were Puritans and also believed in witchcraft. In both the novel and the play, they share a similar conflict. This conflict is adultery. In The Crucible, John Proctor cheats on his wife, Elizabeth Proctor, with Abigail Williams. In The Scarlet Letter, Hester Prynne has an affair with the town minister Dimmesdale and cheats on her husband Chillingworth. Both of these affairs cause all of the pain and suffering each character endures throughout both of the stories.
Both of these evil characters, Abigail Williams and Chillingworth, have their own goal set that they want to achieve. Abigail wants John to be her husband, and by getting rid of Elizabeth by blaming her for witchcraft. Chillingsworth's whole life purpose is to get revenge on Dimmesdale for having an affair with his wife Hester. After these characters try to achieve their goal throughout their whole lives, they both fail horribly. The end.